Focus and flow. Those are two states that I constantly strive for as a creator, especially when I'm working at my computer, when I'm editing or writing. And I love the feeling of being creative and motivated and driven so I can create my best work. But I don't want to sacrifice my mental health or the quality of my life, because I want to work smarter and not harder and burn myself out. And so for many years, I've been so interested in finding out how I can use more of my brain's potential and increase mental clarity. You might have seen the film Limitless. I'm personally not a fan of smart drugs. I like to keep things natural. I did once buy modafinil in a pharmacy over the counter in Colombia, but I never actually ended up taking it and just gave it away. So in this video, I'm not gonna include nootropics or smart drugs because I personally don't use them. I don't believe in adding too many things and supplements into my life when there are natural ways out there that don't have any side effects. I feel like so many people don't realize just how little energy they have available for their brain and from how much brain fog they actually suffer. And I didn't either until I started utilizing some of the things that I want to share with you in this video. Productivity is not just about habits and developing self-discipline to get a lot of stuff done, but it also really depends on the health of our brain. And when you think about considering its size, our brain actually uses up a lot of energy. Roughly about 20% of our daily energy production goes to fueling our brains. So we gotta make sure we give it what it needs to function properly. So how can we hack our mental energy? How can we increase our brain's potential, be more creative, more focused, and do work that truly fulfills us and provides value for other people? I want to share the approaches and strategies and habits that I've been using for many years now because they really work, and I think they'll work for you as well. All right, here is my most important advice for you. It is so essential. You have to follow a healthy and clean diet if you really want to use your brain's potential. Our gut is like our second brain, and if you eat crap, then your output's gonna be crap. And so a healthy diet and a healthy gut is really a prerequisite for a healthy brain. And a healthy brain is a creative brain, is a focused brain. When I started optimizing my diet quite a few years ago now, it made all the difference. I realized that we have to give our brains really clean energy and nutrients and not junk food and processed food. And so eating clean means eating unprocessed foods, natural foods, stuff that's not packaged. A lot of veggies and fruits and just things that actually grow and have a lot of positive energy within them. And when you do buy packaged foods, then make sure you read the label and that you actually understand what the ingredients are and that there's not a whole lot of E numbers and stuff where you're like, oh, I don't know what that is. It's also a really good idea to remove toxins from your diet that cause inflammation and brain fog, such as sugar and alcohol and gluten. A lot of scientific resources suggest eating a high-fat, low-carb diet for more focus and mental clarity, and it's generally not a bad idea to eat a lot of healthy omega-3 fats that are in nuts, such as walnuts and almonds and macadamias, but also in avocados, and healthy oils that are unprocessed, cold-pressed, and like coconut oil or olive oil. And if you drink coffee like me, and I know that it's also kind of considered a drug and toxic, and I understand why a lot of people would not want to touch it, but I like having a cup a day or so, sometimes two, but I also try to make it bulletproof, and I put coconut oil in it or MCT oil, and I put it in the blender, and you don't even need milk because it's frothy. And as a side note, if you suffer from gut issues, because I used to have IBS and leaky gut and SIBO, and man, it was a disaster. Whenever it was really bad, I just couldn't focus properly. I had so much brain fog going on because it was just so much inflammation in my gut. And if you suffer from anything like that, then go out and heal it, and also make sure in the meantime that you eat a lot of anti-inflammatory foods and very clean. One massive game changer for me was when I started intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting is not a diet, it's an eating schedule. And I do daily, which means that I fast for about 16 to 18 hours, and then I have an eating window of about 6 to 8 hours, usually from midday to evening. And so I skip breakfast and only have lunch and dinner. At some point several years ago, I figured out that I'm the most productive, I have the most focus, I feel the most mental clarity before I eat my first meal of the day. And so I've been intermittent fasting since then. I really enjoy having that empty feeling in my stomach, which gives me so much more mental energy. Because if you think about it, when we ingest food, all that beautiful energy that you were using for creative work is now going into your stomach and your intestines, because it takes a lot of energy to digest food. When you know that feeling after you eat, you feel a little lazy, a little lethargic, maybe food coma is a concept that you're familiar with. Well, when you do intermittent fasting, especially on a plant-based diet, you don't get that as much anymore at all. I don't really feel food coma. I eat because it fuels me, not because it takes energy away. Sometimes I even only have one meal a day, or I do a 24-hour fast. It might not be for you, it really depends, and it definitely takes a while to get used to, but after about 2 or 3 weeks, it's like you've never done anything different. All right, let's talk about something that should be a no-brainer when it comes to brain health and mental power. You gotta move your body and exercise every single day. Seriously, people, I mean, for one, exercising and moving our body is so necessary, and it gives us a lot of energy. When I do yoga, or I go for a run or a hike or a swim or a surf, man, I'm so pumped to create after that. It's also like a mental and emotional reset. It gets us out of our head and into our bodies. It's a little like cleaning the slate, you know, and cleaning the pipes before you actually get to work and create. Exercise and moving our body is also helpful to reduce stress and anxiety, which are both very detrimental for our health, our brains, our immune system. I'm not really as creative and focused and clear in my head when I feel stressed and anxious. The interesting thing is that, especially like running and swimming or other repetitive exercises, that they kind of put you into a flow state and can also help to boost your brain power later on in the day when you're creating and you want to focus. My next tip is, yeah, it's more and more popular, more and more people do it, but I still think it's totally underrated. And that is having a mindfulness practice as part of your daily routine. And I believe that it's essential, especially for us creators and creatives who want to put our best work out there. So yes, for example, meditation for sure, but also breath work and pranayama, or having a gratitude practice, and doing yoga such as like yin yoga or yoga nidra. All right, here's a cool tip for you. Listen to binaural beats or alpha brainwave music when you want to focus, especially when you're working at your laptop. I do this a lot, and I feel like it really helps me to just be more in the zone, find the flow, and produce really awesome stuff. Listening to binaural beats helps the brain produce more alpha brainwaves, which in turn helps to experience a more relaxed focus, but also accelerated learning and a feeling of flow. There are quite a few binaural beats playlists on Spotify and YouTube, and you can also check out Brain FM or My Noise, and I'll link to all of that below the video. All right. Do you know the reason why a lot of very successful and super creative people wear the same clothes every day and follow the same daily routines? They know that we as humans wake up with a decision battery that is full in the morning, but that we wear out and use up as we go through our day and with every big or small decision that we have to make. And that energy that we use to make all our decisions throughout the day takes away from the energy that we could use for our creative work. It's also called decision fatigue, and it gets worse as the day goes on, and you experience less focus, less clarity, and just a feeling of depletion in your brain. The solution to this is making fewer decisions. I personally follow the same morning routine for that reason. I get up, I meditate, I have my lemon tea or coffee, I do yoga, I go for a run. And it's just always the same sequence in the morning, so I don't have to think about it. I don't have to make these decisions. I also don't put a lot of time into choosing what I'm gonna wear. I'm a minimalist. I don't really own that much. I love all my clothes, and so that's easy. I also don't want to spend too much time on where am I gonna eat, what am I gonna eat, all of that. They might be small decisions, but they take away from the energy that I want to use for my focus and clarity when I'm doing creative work. Also save big decisions and really important work and tasks for early in the day when your decision battery and your energy in your brain is still at a really high level. And lastly, my friends, sleep. Not getting enough good quality sleep every night is really fatal for our health and our brain. Because the only time that your body actually repairs neurons and nerve cells is actually when you're sleeping, especially in your deep sleep stages between like 2 and 6 a.m. And because of this crucial role that sleep plays in the health of your nervous system, it is one of the most important things that you can do and implement on a regular basis. So get your 8 hours in as often as possible. Black out your room or wear an eye mask. Take melatonin if you have sleep issues. And wear blue light blocking glasses as much as possible when looking at screens, your laptop, your smartphone, but especially a few hours before you go to bed. And that's it, friends. If you want to find out more about how to create a more intentional life as a creator and creative, then consider subscribing to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram. I put out a lot of awesome Insta stories, and you can subscribe to my email newsletter that I send out once a week or so, and with a lot of more resources and tips. And lastly, I have a podcast, which you might not know if you only follow me on here on YouTube, because I don't really mention it that much, but it's there. And I record an episode also almost every week. And a lot of them are, you know, behind the scenes stuff that I'm working on, just kind of reflections on life and business and my creations. I also do some interviews now and again with really cool people and friends, and you should totally check it out. I'll link everything below the video. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. You're amazing. Thank you. Bye.